I'll have a Q&A session so you can ask me. And today, as in the, the title of this session, info session, is that the importance of will and trust, or what it is. A lot of people aren't aware what it is, so I'll give you that information. And with that, why financial planning also has to, have you have to also have started with it. So I'll give you intro to that. Again, this is all information that I'm sharing. I'm licensed in this industry. Quick background about me: I'm Srimati, and for all the non Tamil speaking folks, that is my name. I'm not married. Okay, so that is my name. And I my parents live in Albany, New York, and I have a business set up both in Canada and the US. And I have supported so many families, and I'm in the journey of supporting so many more families as a team, as Arul mentioned. More than 5,000 families. I can say that we are all I we're able to protect them legally and financially. And I can say with pride, because of our team, 5,000 families wouldn't have to go to GoFundMe if their family does meet a situation. And that is exactly why I'm very much eager to share this knowledge with you today. Again, my goal here, what do I do today? My role is only to share the knowledge with you, make you think a little bit, have make you have different conversations at your dinner table today and tomorrow. Make you, to kindle those, brain to think, as a family, because it is going to create a large impact. And I'm saying this because my family has applied it, and we're able to see the difference of what it can do with just simple knowledge gap that, to be filled in. So without any further ado, let me get started. And I'll give you guys, some time in between. I'll ask you guys if you have any questions. But before we start, does anyone know, or let me ask everyone this: what is your expectation out of this 1 hour today? I'll close it sharp by 9. But what is the expectation that you're all looking for? What did come for? If you have any questions, or what is it you're looking for today? If I can have that, I would love to know what are we all here for.
I want to know what is the main difference between will and trust, and
Mhm.
why we need to prefer will over a trust or trust over a will.
Okay, I'm guessing you have that question because you already have a will in place.
No, I don't
Okay.
have.
Okay. All right. Okay. I noted down that question. Anyone else? I know Mr. Kalyan was about to unmute.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
No, no, go
I
ahead.
have this. I
Yeah.
have the same question. I know that trust is more powerful, but I do not know. I may be entirely wrong, but
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to understand between the will and trust.
All right. Okay. Got you. And I think
Yeah.
Spell. Mhm,
Yeah. So for me, yeah, will or trust is not question for me.
mhm,
The more and more I'm getting picture like will is becoming close to useless now, and probably trust is the route we have to go if I want to have my kids tax free inherit things. So that is
mhm,
something I'm going definitely, but it has been long time, more than 2 years. I'm looking for financial advisor,
mhm.
and in that regard I have myriad of questions. So I'm just trying to get a vibe for your team, and probably we're gonna go from there.
Okay. Okay. Absolutely. That is, yes, I'm glad that you already have that awareness, the trust aspect, how it helps tax free inheritance. I'll touch upon that for everyone as well. Okay, note it down.
Sure.
Anyone else? Thank you, Spell. Uh, Welcome, Nanda. Welcome, Sachin. I'm just seeing you guys here.
Yeah, I just want to mention that my name is actually Sushmita, so I that's how I wrote everywhere. So
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
Sushmita
Then,
Pal, so I
like,
do as
okay,
Pal.
I would say
That's how
spell
I
and name.
go.
I was gonna ask you what does it mean,
My
but
WhatsApp or LinkedIn, I'm not a social media
that's
person.
okay.
I like things anonymous. So
Can I help you rename here so
that's
that
why I love trust also.
okay, can I help
Well,
rename?
whatever works for you.
Okay, perfect. So I can call you Sushmita. All right. And anyone else? Vinod, Saravanan, Namaz, Nanda, Sachin. you came for something, right? You wanted to understand or learn about something. I just wanted to know what it is, so that I'll make sure that I do help answer that question or give you clarity on that.
Yeah, the will. What is will? That is the preliminary. Then next one is the trust,
Hmm.
and loading the trust or something. That's a kind of thing also which they were discussing about. So if you explain that little bit detail about those things, that will be helpful.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we will save the probate period and those kind of things which they are talking about. I don't know that is all the people are that is joined from Nebraska or from the different state. I don't know about that, but each state is having a different rules and regulations or something. I don't know, but yeah, those are the details which I'm looking for.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
on that, another question I have, as he mentioned about the space, when I get the meeting request, it's showing Guatemala number. Is there anybody from Guatemala here? The
No.
email came with Guatemala time zone. Now, luckily, the both the time zone is same. Usually, Costa Rica, Guatemala, so it didn't interfere. But that was a
Okay.
intriguing part.
Okay. Okay. I will look into that. No,
I
I
probably
did.
want to
I think
check.
it was an error. But thanks for letting me know.
Okay.
All right. Um. Okay. So let me go over. Welcome, Dana. Welcome, Nanda. Welcome, Sachin. I'll have you guys.
Hi, yeah.
Yes, welcome. So we'll get started now. See, now thank you for your inputs, because now I would know that how where I can start for you guys. I understand that there is a lot of knowledge gap in the understanding of what it is to start with. So let me go over that. So again, this is me. Again, this is everything that we do: estate planning, long term care, your 401k optimization. If you have a previous 401k that you have not rolled over yet, we can help you with that. College planning, all of that, we'll talk about all of that later. But the first thing, the first mindset, first mindset shift that I want everyone on this call to understand is, I'm guessing it seems to be like everyone is from India here on this call. So when we have moved away from India, moved into the US, we have adapted to, or we have incorporated our culture or lifestyle to the country here in America. But one thing a lot of families, a lot of immigrant families miss out on is that we handle our money and we handle our legal documents like if we are still living in India. There is a huge knowledge gap of what it is or how it is that we have to plan in the US, because of which the way we process a lot of things is still an Indian mindset, and that is why we're not able to give us a head start or give us that right protection. And this is there within a lot of immigrants, but I want you to first have a clear mindset. The land that we come from and the land that we are currently are two different complete legal and financial system. Okay, so whatever understand from Indian product or certain legal certain concepts, I would like you to keep it aside for now, and I would like you to learn from a complete blank slate about what is that we have to do within US. To start with, I'll come to these slides because later, but the two levels of protection that every family that it's must to have in the US is that: one, financial and health disaster protection; two is the will and trust legal protection. And I will emphasize on the will and trust first, then I'll come to the first part. So let me go to the will and trust aspect, because I see a lot of you have uh, questions on the will and trust that can also be myth, so let me help you clarify that. So the law is pretty simple, as I mentioned. In India, one of the common laws, one of the misconception people have is that India is a community based driven uh, in decision making system. In America, it is individual based. Okay, that is one major difference. And in India, you have inheritance law, but in America, you don't have inheritance law. And yes, there are differences state wise, but in overall the inheritance law doesn't exist. What do I mean by that? In India, if a parent passes down a asset when they are no more, the, there is no questions about, or there isn't heavy taxations that is involved for the children. But in the US, the children are considered individuals. Apart from your spouse, your children are considered individuals, even though they're your family. They will be responsible for heavy taxes if you don't have the proper documentations and the proper planning setup. So that is why will and trust is very important. Why will? Okay, what is will first of all? By the way, the question of whether I should have will or trust, I would say you need to have both. Yeah. So will and trust, you, it's not that one is better than the other, so you only have one. No, that is not the scenario. You need both of it to have a proper legal protection. If you please, if you have a question, please do let me know in the chat or raise your hand, so that it is everyone has a smooth, experience. So, will is a legal document where you define who your assets go to. So, on your will, you are defining who that assets go to. And not only you're defining who that assets go to, but you're also defining executors. Executors are individuals who are responsible to make sure that your will and trust
Trust
is
is
happening according to your wishes. What do I mean by that? Your will and trust beneficiary can be your family and kids. Your will and trust executor can be your family and kids and also friends, meaning they are making sure that everything is happening as per your wish when you are not there. That is executor. Will also declares guardianship. If you have under 18 children, you want to have proper guardianship in place. Why? I'll come to that why part, in the next step. But basically, what we as a team, we help families is securing five important documents. See, you want to have a full, you want to have a full defense system for your family, full protection. So, for which you need to have five aspects. That is a living will. So, living will, you declare who it goes to. And the second one is a probate avoidance trust. So, if you know what is a probate, I'm very glad you know. For the one folks who are not aware, probate is just another name for family court. So, probate avoidance trust, as it says in the name itself, you want to avoid family court. Why do you want to avoid family court? Let me give you a scenario. If a bread earner is no more and they have a will, let's say they have a will. When they have a will, yes, they do declare who their assets go to and everything. And the side topic, yes, if you have just a will, there are taxes that will come on your family, but still, will declares who it goes to. Okay, so will is good document. But will alone isn't enough. Why you need a trust? When you have just a will saying, hey, this house goes to my this my kids and my spouse, this asset goes to my kids and spouse, this bank account goes to my kids and spouse, you can mention it clearly. But now the process of how it goes to them, what will happen is your file will go to family court. In family court, you might need an attorney as well, so you might have to pay for an attorney when you go to the court. And you have to go to the court to go through the process. Okay, that is one thing that you want to avoid. But what happens in family court? Let's say even if you owe a bank credit card $1. Now you have a credit, everyone has credit card. So even if you owe a credit card $1, that credit card company is given first priority before your family because your will isn't creditor proof. So when it goes to the family court, every other entity, your mortgage bank, the bank that you have mortgage with, the bank that you have your car loan with, or the bank that you might have credit card and you are yet to pay one more dollar, all of them will come to court Because why do they come to court? Because when you go to court, your family's record becomes public. So it becomes public. Now all these entities can come and say, hey, this person owes me. So after all of them, then your family gets all your assets. So that is why you want to avoid probate. You want to have probate avoidance trust. If you have heard someone having a trust, and if you had trust before, and if you don't have probate avoidance, because there are multiple types of trust, so if you don't have probate avoidance trust, you will still go to court. You want to have probate avoidance trust, which is going to make sure your family records stay within family and it doesn't need to go to court. Because in probate you define how it goes to your beneficiaries. How it means, basically, your family members will be trustees, and these trustees would have access to these assets and fund. So that is the difference between a living will and a probate avoidance trust, and you do need to have a combination of both. Because if you just have a trust, then you're not declaring guardianship, you're not declaring executors. So if you're not there, who is that responsible person that will make sure that everything is happening as per your wishes? Who has the decision making power? That you the will declare. Who has access to the funds? That the trust will declare. So you need to have both of it. You cannot this is there is The debate of which is better isn't needed here. You need to have both of it for a proper protection. And the next document is medical power of attorney. Medical power, again, reference back to Indian system. If anyone can fill in for me, shoot an answer. What happens, let's say, if I'll shoot myself under the bus. If I'm sick, if I'm in the hospital, who can take medical decisions for me in India? It can be my dad, can be my my family, my sister, right, Vijay, sir?
Family.
Right. How about in the US?
I think it is spouse or children, right?
Spouse or children, if you have them declared as a medical agent in a document.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people aren't aware. Yes, your spouse can make medical decisions, but in a lot of cases they might not be able to, because again, US is individual. They focus on individual based decisions, not community driven decisions. So because of which, let's say, if you have if you are in hospital, and if you have a certain procedure happening, the doctors want to know who's the authorized, HIPAA authorized person. Who is that person that the doctors can share medical information to? And you want that person to be your spouse and family, you have to declare that. In multiple cases, spouse can. Only in rare scenarios spouse cannot. But if you want your kids to take, then you definitely need to have medical power of attorney and HIPAA authorization. And if the vice versa, if your kids are older than 18, and if you want to take a decision for them medically, you have to be their medical agent to take it. Otherwise, it doesn't even come into the bloodline. Sometimes spouses they allow, but for kids and parents, definitely not, unless you are an authorized person to make the decision. Okay, again,
I'm going to ask a question if it's okay.
please go ahead. Yeah.
How it work for life support? If somebody needs to be taken off life support, insurance decided that, do they need a signature from spouse without any paper?
So you're saying yes. Again, all that decision, who takes end of life decision, all of that you want to declare who is that taking. Without that,
So if there no
doctor.
paper, they can take you off life support without your family's consents, right?
Correct.
Okay, can I interrupt here?
Hmm.
Go ahead.
I think we should have a healthcare proxy in that situation. They have to take decision for yourself in case if you're on life support. So the patient, if they appoint somebody as their healthcare proxy, they can take the decision what to do and how to do.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely, you're right. And this power of medical power of attorney is the healthcare proxy. Because when you're conscious,
Thanks.
HIPAA document is basically when everyone, you might have seen this document when you go to the hospital. Next time, very simple, you go to a dentist or you go to pediatrician, they give you a HIPAA paper to always sign before you do enter the to meet the doctor. That HIPAA paper you're signing saying yes, you can share this information. Now if you're not conscious to sign, you don't they don't have their they don't have your authorization. That's where you need this document, HIPAA authorization and medical proxy. In other words, yes, medical power of attorney. Okay, and in that in that package, you will be, you can also define, who takes end of life decisions as well, and you declare it, how it want to be. And again, with the medical, similarly to the financial power of attorney, a lot of people, let me see how everyone is thinking. I'm pretty sure everyone has a bank account, and a lot of you might have joint accounts with your spouses. If not joint, at least you would have mentioned them as nominee and beneficiaries. You would have done that. If you have not done that, that is the first thing. In your bank, please do make sure that joint account is always recommended. And if you have a joint account, you want to add your family members and your kids as beneficiaries and nominees. Even if your kids are younger, younger than 18, younger than 16, add them as beneficiaries. Don't wait for them to be 18. You can always add. There is no age limit for beneficiaries in the bank account, as far as I understand. So if you have not done that, that is the first step. I would say do it. But even if you do that, how many of you think that, for example, so a situation, bread owner is no longer the wife, the spouse is a nominee and a beneficiary, who agrees that the wife will have complete access to it? Anyone thinking that yes, I've declared, so I'm good, I'm in the free, like nothing is going to happen? And most of us is, I was even speaking to someone else. Most of us think yes, my wife is beneficiary. Absolutely she is. But financial power of attorney, again, another aspect. You want your spouse to have your spouse or your kids to have complete authority when you're not there. Again, this document comes to play when you're not there. When you're not there, you want them to have complete freedom and authority without any account freezes, without any questions being asked legally, and they should be able to take any financial decision. And power of attorney can also apply not only when you're no more there, but also, let's say, I had a family who, during COVID time, they had a rental property. They were their house that they were renting, and they got stuck in India for 2 years. They kept paying rent for 2 years for $2,000. They couldn't cancel. Why they couldn't cancel? Because they didn't have a financial power of attorney for someone to go, like a friend, to go sign the paper and say close the lease. So sometimes it's not always, especially in the financial power of attorney, it is also the power that you want to give when you're physically not present, not only, just if you're not there. So these five important documents, when I say will and trust, full will and trust, you want to have all this covered. And within that, you will also have, guardianship declared. Again, trust, what it is, you avoid court, so you save the time, the effort, the the lawyer fee that the family has to go through. And again, this document comes to use when you're no longer there. So when you're not there, when your family is already going through emotional stress, you don't want them to go through this legal paperwork. You don't want that process. And you want to protect your privacy. You don't want it to become public record. Again, will, what happens without no will? Each state, in each and every state, has a, different laws. But in a lot of states, if there is no will, some of the states, if there's no will, and if someone can read this for me, maybe, maybe I see Vijay on Vijay sir online. Can you help me read the second part here? Okay, if you can see my screen?
Some of the states, in the event of father's death, minor children go to mother by default, but not vice versa. Father will have to claim for children if there is no will written document in place.
Exactly. So a lot of some of the states, the kids automatically do go to the mother, but to go to the father, father has to prove in court he is financially capable, mentally capable, emotionally capable. Um, Prove to the court to have to take guardianship of the kids. And that is why you, again, that is why you need will to declare guardianship. And again, kids foster care. Again, this is another misconception I've heard so many people myth, so many people have. Oh, my children aren't citizen. My children, I know they're not born here. So even if something does happen to me, they can go back to my parents or my family back home. I'm sorry to say, break the myth. That is not the case. Whatever status the children might be in, citizen, not citizen, they're just here for temporary. If the primary guardian, primary parents are no longer there, and if there is no documentation declaring who is responsible for the kids after the parents, the kids are put into foster care system. Now, foster care system, for the folks who are not aware, it is a system where it takes care of the kids who have lost parents or who have parents who are not capable for taking care of them. The system, the government takes control of the kids and they give them homes to live in. Now, it is good that there is a system like this to support kids, but there is also a not so good part. The not so good part is, once the kids enter foster care, it is a contract till the kids are 18 years of age, till they're an adult. So if the kids go into this contract and if you have to take them out, it is a heavy, money, time, stressful process, and it's close to impossible to take them out of this contract. Because why is it close to impossible to take them out? Because you cannot track where the kids are. Sometimes these kids are in one home with like couple of kids, and with a one couple of parents, some, and then they are moved to another home. A lot of Indian parents including mine did not allow me to go to sleepover. Or one night of sleepover, so many questions: who is it, what is it, evaluate, I have to meet the parents, all that, as they see parents, as the Indian parents, you all are so caring. But after you don't even know whose house the kids are going to be. You don't even know what culture they're going to be part of. So you don't want them in that process, and there are stories how kids have got into it and it's very hard to track them and take them out of the system. So again, you don't want all of this. You just want to make sure your family is protected. Again, please do understand, I'm a very optimistic person. I'm not talking to you in the state of fear. I'm talking to you in the state of being proactive, what to plan for. Okay. And again, will with no trust leads to probate court. You spend money on distribution. There is, your documentations become documents become public record, and your loved ones do go through stressful through all this process, which you want to avoid. And very simple to set up your will and trust. A lot of attorneys, I'm not sure from wherever you're joining from, Nebraska or the other states that you're joining from, um, each state, even the minimum cost that a beginner attorney or a paralegal charges for a will and trust is around close to minimum 2000. I've even had folks do it for $15,000 through an attorney. But the good news is that we are able to help you with fraction of that cost, not that much. And will and trust is a very state specific document. Please do also be aware. So if you have already done a will and trust in a different state, that is no longer valid when you move. You have to create a new one when you do through an attorney. But when if we are able to help you, or we are able to set up an account in a way that you can edit your own will and trust, and your documents can be edited, and that system is backed up by all 50 state paralegals and attorneys. So the next step, I would say, what you have to do is identify, start identifying four people in different categories. Executors, again, executors are the ones who ensure that, who are responsible to make sure everything is happening as per your wishes. Guardians, again, for your kids, who are the guardians. Now these guardians can also be family from India, but before you go to India, you want to have someone with locally, and then you can add them as another layer. Declare your parents, or family or cousins, whoever you want to declare. And trustees, you want to keep it within family, husband and wife, the kids if they're older than 18. If not, you want to add parents, again, family member you want to, because trustees have access to the assets and the fund that you're putting in the trust. Okay. And then you get it notarized, and you have a valid will and trust document. And that is pretty much it. And you're going to get everything covered. You're going to get the will, Excuse me, you're going to get the will, probate, avoidance trust, medical power of attorney, financial power of attorney, and the HIPAA authorization. And in any of these scenarios that you come across in life, you would have to update your will and trust. And the good thing is, it's your package for lifetime. So you can edit anytime and get it re-notarized to make it active again. Okay. So does anyone have any questions so far? I went over the legal aspect. I'll go over a little bit of the financial aspect as well. But anyone has any questions so far? Any comments? Would love to hear.
I have a question. So far we have discussed the scenario which is happening in America. But what happen if your nominee is in India and something happened to you, and what will happen to your property here?
When
And they don't have the visa to come here. So is it possible for them to come an emergent visa and deal with that?
Now this question might be outside my expertise because this is a turn, like this is like a legal I mean like immigration
Correct.
question. So I'm
It
not.
combines both. It combines both will and trust and the immigration question.
I will cover the will and trust aspect. You can declare
Okay.
someone from India, and when I say you can, you want them to be able to travel. Now, if they can travel because of that, I don't know. I've not heard
Mm.
of it. I'm not sure of that. But
If anybody in the group, if they have any experience, they can share their comment.
no, I know because no, this question you have to ask the right professional. Um,
Mm.
see, think about again. That is the first concept I introduced.
Okay.
It is very different from India and US. And what I would highly recommend, one thing is always consult with the right professional, because
Mhm.
I understand we are very, I know we're again, Indians are very community based. We're like, yes, my friend said this, my family friend said this, but you want to consult with the right industry professional, because there might be something they might be missing as well.
Mhm.
Again,
Okay.
all these information of a simple Google search can answer, or ChatGPT search can answer. Then
Mhm.
there no need to be licensed professionals. There is a purpose for them. So this question is a good question. I don't have the answer. This would be a question for an attorney though, like an immigration attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the will and trust aspect, you can put someone from India, but they should be able to travel. Without that, you can still add, but then there won't be any purpose to it. Like it won't make the result
Mm-mm.
will not happen. That's what it is.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one question
What?
regarding, I think I saw a slide. What is the difference between beneficiary and executor? And in terms of, I want to ask because recently my 401k, all the providers started asking. I mean, I have the beneficiary mentioned, but now they're asking executor.
In your 401k?
Yeah.
Okay. So, a simple difference. I don't know if this definition of executing beneficiary is same in 401k. What you're telling me, I don't know the complete background. But in will and trust, executor and beneficiary as simple. It is the people that you are giving your assets to. Executors are folks who can also be your neighbors, your friends, who you trust, or who's ready to take that responsibility to make sure if something happens to you, they will make sure everything is happening as per your wishes. So
Is the
kind of
both
like a
can be,
guardian angel who's making sure everything is happening right.
is that both can be same or has to be different?
No, no, it can be same. Your executors, guardians, trustees, all can be same as well,
Okay,
or different as well. That is up to that is your choice.
got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
But ideally, you would your family members do become executors first level, and you also want to have some of your friends or neighbors to be executors who you trust basically. Okay. Good questions. Thank you, thank you. Any more questions in the will and trust legal aspect, or any comments, because I know we have a couple more minutes, and I would like to shed some light on the first protection as well, the financial protection as well. Okay.
So I want to go with this.
So
How, I don't know if you handle LLCs Is that something
No,
your
again,
team does?
LLC is a CPA's role. If the question is if you can add LLC to the trust, absolutely, I've done that for a couple of my clients. But LLC creation is a CPA's role, and if you would like reference for that, I can give you my CPA's reference. Um,
Okay. So
that
you
is a
don't have CPA in your team probably right now, right?
no right no right so again, the industry of finances is like doctors, like the medical industry. There is a pediatrician, there is a ophthalmologist, there is a dermatologist. So each of us expertise is a different, but I do have resources to give it to you if you want to set up LLC, that we can work it out. But that is little off topic from us today, but I'll be able to help you out on that.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yeah, were you able to hear me? Hello, Shushmita. Okay. I think she's having some issues with connection.
Can you
Maybe
hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're just going on and off. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
not sure if you heard me though.
Yeah, you mentioned that yeah, it's I think it's a different sector, and I'm
Yeah, it's
guessing
a
right
different
now
sector. I
you
can
don't
give you
have
the resource. I can give you the
someone. Okay.
resources.
Thank you.
Tonight I cannot, but I can give you the resources. This call I might not be able to, but we'll talk, and we'll set up again. Each of us, I will highly recommend. Let's set up an individual appointment so that we can individually talk about your scenarios and your plans, which is going to give you a better understanding, because we're going over the general information and the knowledge that everyone needs to have. But thank you. I know I only have couple more minutes. I don't, because I know you're also sharing your time with me. I don't want to take it lightly, so let me quickly jump over to the financial aspect, or the first level of protection. See, the two levels of protection, like I started the session with, you need to have the um, legal protection done. That is very important. I think every one of you understand. And financial protection also done. Now, if you have, you might have all seen in different WhatsApp groups, in different, sharings from families and friends, a lot of GoFundMe links are popping up. One of the reasons for these GoFundMe links to, come up is that because either of the protection is not there or both is not there, legal and financial. Why do I say that? Because if you have proper documentations, if a family has enough fund in their bank account, they'll be able to immediately use that fund towards the situation. But if they don't have proper documentation, let's say if the bread earner has doesn't have a will and trust, and they pass away, the spouse might not have access to the bank account, because banks might freeze the account, because they don't know how to take money from this person who owes them either mortgage, car loan, or a credit card. So because of which this spouse is has no other option other than look up to the online a platform of GoFundMe. And in other scenario, if you don't have proper financial protection, what do I mean with that? Someone does have will and trust, but a simple example, if every and all of you are going to get your will and trust done, and I'm pretty sure anyone has house under mortgage. Anyone has house under mortgage? If I can have a raise of hand or a yes, unmute. Does everyone have a house under mortgage? I believe most of us should. Yes, Lavanya, thank you. Right. So now what happens, right? What happens in a will and trust document is that, let me quickly unshare. It is very clear. Whatever you define in a document, it is going to happen. You're defining everything of mine is going to be for my kids and spouse. Now, if your house is under mortgage, you're also telling my mortgage responsibility is for my kids and spouse. So when you do pass on the legacy to your family, you want to pass it on as a asset, not a liability. Because let's say your mortgage is $500,000 that is still pending. Now if something happens to you, right, touch wood, nothing should, but something happens to you, your family is responsible. If your kids if they're 16 or 17, they're responsible for that $500,000 of mortgage because you have said this house is for my kids, and you don't want that scenario. Vice versa, what could happen is, with proper planning, what could happen is you have a proper legal protection. With that, you have a proper basic protection, financial protection, by which, if when something does happen to you, your house can be paid off, and you can give that as an asset to your children rather than a liability that they would be responsible they'll be responsible for from then onwards. So that is why it is important to have both the protections in place. Okay, and let me quickly bring up this screen another 5 minutes and then I'll be done. So the first thing is, please do understand, financial blueprint or financial planning is like a puzzle. It is not one size t-shirt fits all. Okay, it is not like one size t-shirt fits all. So today I'll be only going over the general concepts, one general concept. I won't go into depth, but please do sit down with one of us, to help you out understand more in depth how you can set your family for success, financially. It's a puzzle because one of you might miss the small piece in the puzzle, one of you might be missing the larger piece, one of you might be missing multiple pieces. So that's why it's a puzzle. You want to solve that puzzle for your family. And lot of people, lot of us, we don't plan to fail. None of us plan to fail. We just fail to plan. Planning is a key aspect, being, that's what I'm saying. The beginning I said, let's not approach this in the aspect of fear. Definitely not. Let's approach this in the aspect of being proactive and being prepared for what to come. I'm pretty sure you all tell your kids, be prepared for whatever questions that can come on the SAT or pre-SAT. Have, do multiple practices, do the right planning, how many questions I'm going to complete in how many minutes, right? So that planning in finances, not from the aspect of fear. And I'm very happy you learned about will and trust today, because that is the main first level of protection. And these are all the questions that will be answered when you have a proper will and trust in place. What is it? Who will take care of underage children? Who gets your home? Who inherits all your bank accounts? Avoiding family arguments over belongings and keepsakes. And as Indians, I think we know that there is something or the other family arguments related to that one land that you must have had within your family, or family that you know of. So basically, avoid family arguments. Who will operate if you have a business? Who will operate and own your business? Medical decisions. Again, someone asked this question, right? Who decides your healthcare and end of life decisions? And probate avoidance. So all of this, you please feel free to take a picture of this. This is what these are the questions that you answer when you have a proper documentation in place. Okay, this is level 1. Level 2 is understanding, level 2 of protection is level understanding of financial responsibility, and how you can protect that financial responsibility. This is a financial statement that we will go through when we sit down with you, one on one. But let me show you this first, this house. Because a lot of us, when it comes to planning, especially in the finances, remember the first thing I said, we all plan like if we are still living in India, especially in finances. That has to have a upgrade. We have to start planning with the laws, with how the financial industry works in the US. And what do I mean by that? So, the first thing is that financial planning is like building a house. You can never start building a house from the roof. You have to start with proper foundation. You have to then build up to the next level, then to the next level, then the roof. That is how you can have a steady house. Now, what if happens, right? If the roof is ulta, right? If the roof is on the bottom, if the foundation is on the top, the house is shaky. It can fall anytime. Well, unfortunately, that is how a lot of our financial houses look like today. A lot of families. And that is what we can start making, few changes by implementing these concepts. So, building from ground up, building so covering the essentials. You're ensuring that your current lifestyle. See, covering the essentials, and then you want to sustain the current lifestyle. I'm not talking about, becoming multi-billion dollar rich. having, Porsche, Mercedes, and a big bungalow. That is possible too. That is a different level of financial planning. I'm talking about if something, medically, financially, like a medical incident, health challenge, job loss, government changes, taxation differences, if any one of these scenarios occur, is your family protected? Can your family financial house not shake and stay stable so that you at least maintain the current lifestyle, if not become better? We are all used to a certain lifestyle, certain income now, and going back, especially for your, family, when you do, you want to think about them. I think that's why we're all here. We all, I'm very happy that you're all, people that you care about your family, and you care about. So if you do, when you do care about, you want to make sure that your money that you have worked so far in your life, the assets that you have gained so far in your life, you want that to be, beneficial to your family, not government and hospitals. So that's why you have to prepare for the unexpected, and you want to leave a legacy, like one person was saying on this call. So the foundation always starts with proper protection, then debt management, then emergency fund, then investment. Now, this 1 hour that I'm having with sharing with you all isn't the only 1 hour. Trust me, all of this is a process in place. And I'm going to, a rule, Prem, we're all going to have a relationship with you for long term basis. It's not just 1 hour I'm sharing and then we're done. No, I want to help you and your family's financial future. I want you to set up for success. So it is going to be a process. We're going to have multiple discussions. We're going to have learning sessions, concepts learning, and you want to have proper protection, debt management. If some of your kids are going to college, you want to look into college planning, how you can help them set up for success and not have a burden of, having a student loan that carries for 30 years, 40 years in their life, right? So that is the thing that we'll focus on. And we'll also focus on the next couple of sessions when we do sit down individually. What we will learn, you first we will learn about what is law of decreasing responsibility. So if you die too soon, it is your family takes the problem. And if your financial responsibility that is there, if you don't have a plan, what happens to your family then? Or do we have a plan? And is the plan effective enough? Have we consulted a professional, or have we sat down, had discussion? Does my plan make sense with the industry? Because a lot of us that I see, might not be, you might not be from the financial industry, so you might not know what is happening. Hey, but that is me for you. Let me be your messenger. I will share with you what is happening in the industry and how you can set your family for success. And the next thing that we'll also focus on is law of increasing wealth. I'm pretty sure all of you are in a phase where you're ready to see, how can I have, if I live too long, how can I have tax free growth? How can I have tax free retirement income? How can I have, set up the right emergency fund, college education, down market protection? Think about it. Does my any of my current instrument in my portfolio have down market protection? What do I mean by down market protection? Even if the market goes down, my money should be safe from the market. Do I have that in my current portfolio? Do I have tax free growth? Do I actually have tax free retirement income? Do I have a plan for that? What about tax free legacy, as one person was saying, right? Yes, you want to give through trust. You do save, the kids do save up on 40% estate tax, but that's only estate tax. What about the other taxes that your kids might have to pay? Do you have a plan for it, or have you start about, wait, I need to start planning? So disability long term care. So all of this are scenarios that, we will help you, solve in your financial blueprint. And it's a process. We won't do that overnight, and nothing's going to happen overnight. We're going to meet, we're going to, this is going to be a long term relationship that we're going to carry on. But what I would like to, at last, what I want to say is, I love how, you're all been glued to this session. You've taken the 1 hour from your life to share with me, to learn the knowledge. These are all Wall Street knowledge. The tax free growth, tax free retirement income. These are all Wall Street knowledge that I'm so proud our team is bringing to Main Street. So many families do need this. Not because they're desperate, no, because they just want to be smarter. Again, not from a aspect of fear, but from an aspect of being proactive and being ready with the right plan. And if you have this right knowledge, simple concepts, because even if you have a CPA tax advisor, even if you have a financial advisor that you personally have, you want to be able to ask the right questions to them. And I will share the concepts with you so that you are educated enough so that you can take your own financial decision. That's my role here. Okay, and with that we can help you with the legal and the financial aspect. That's all for I had to share from tonight. I hope I added value in your time today. And one thing, please do this homework for me. Tonight's dinner table, I know dinner's 9, I mean it's 8 almost over most of you guys, but when you're sitting down, when you're having the night talk with your spouse or the kids, tomorrow morning breakfast table, when you're having conversation, why don't you introduce this conversation? What is our plan? What is our financial plan? What is our legacy plan? Are your kids aware of financially? They don't have to be completely aware, but start giving them start giving them this education. I'm very thankful for my dad who passed on this knowledge to me, because I'm setting myself up for success, not only the money but the aspect of how I go about life. Because being financially knowledgeable is going to always support you in any situation in your life, and you want to give that for your kids. Please do give that to them. Have these discussion on your dinner table, breakfast table, before going to bed. So think about, if what is our family's financial plan? Do we actually have a blueprint? Do we have we actually sat down and talked about, wait, what happens then? What happen if this happens? Again, not from the aspect of fear, from the aspect of being proactive. But with that, thank you all for being a beautiful audience and very amazing questions. If you have to leave, you can drop off. Still here for questions.
Yeah, I have a question. I saw the slide HGI. By any chance, you are part of HGI?
What do you mean by part of HI? Sorry.
Oh, I saw the in your slides, the icon left side,
Mm-hmm.
left bottom. I see the logo of HGI.
Mm-hmm.
So I know one of my cousin sister is there, so that's why I ask because the
Oh.
slides
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah. So
looks like HGI.
I'm not sure what you have heard, but Hedgehog is just a platform. It's like an Amazon platform. It's just a platform in the financial service industry that uh, we leverage. But that has nothing to do with your financial planning.
Okay.
Yeah. Was that your question? Sorry, I didn't get. I'm not sure if I answered it.
Yes, I saw that, and I was thinking if you are part of that particular group. Uh, anyway, um,
Yes, yes. We leverage the platform. Hedgehog is a platform. It's like if in retail industry it's Amazon, that's a platform. In the financial service industry, Hedgehog is just a platform, and we leverage it. And we work with so many companies like Corebridge, AIG, and North American. They're all 100+ year old companies. So if that was your question, yeah. So I work with multiple financial institutions, and Hedgehog is a platform where we leverage to reach them.
okay. And another would be overfunded whole life insurance. Is that something you heard of, or your team ever done that?
I'm not sure from where this is coming from, because I'm not sure of the complete story or the situation. What I would recommend is, why don't we, have a chat individually? So personally, if you have specific personal questions, I would love to, in the aspect of your privacy, I would love to explain, help you out individually.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But thank you, thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank you for
Inshra.
doing that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Any other comments? I would love to hear what you took out of this session. What is your learning? That could be my written gift. If you can share your learning, I would love to hear that. Namaz, Lavanya, Vijay, Vinod, Sachin. Then I feel like I'm a school teacher who's reading attendance. But then Kalyan, Sir Nanda, Mahesh. I've not heard from Sachin, Mahesh, and Nanda.
Srimati, one that is one question actually. How about that updating the trust? Will it be expensive too, or see there is no change? Says living in the same state and those kind of things.
Mhm.
So how about those things? How soon? How frequent we can update that?
It is up to your choice. Again, the way we leverage this software, that there's a software set up by attorneys. This software lets you update any aspect: will, trust, power of attorney, financial power, medical power of attorney, all of that at any time, and as many times as you have a change.
Okay.
All the only thing that you have to be aware is when you do make a change, you have to re-notarize, because a
Okay.
notary, the what whichever was the last notarized document is what is active.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, very good question, thank you. Anyone else?
Hey Shri, actually, yeah, like it was really helpful. At least I came to know some of the points which are like basic things, but yeah, like I got some clear picture because sometimes we'll just we don't know whether it's a myth or it's real, but you explained it very clearly. So that way, it was like useful this webinar. But in order to maintain like both will and trust, does it cost a lot of money, or how does it will be?
No, it's one package. What we do is it's one package that we do, and that package will have everything. You're not gonna pay extra, which is more, which is less. No, the whole package, the full 5 documents is what we protect a family on. All that comes to you, and it's for lifetime that comes to you.
So how
Oh,
much usually that cost range?
I prefer not mentioning the price because we do offer certain discounts based on referrals, and if we can help more people through you. So I would love speaking that personally, individually with everyone. Yeah,
and
but
what if you just have a trust but don't have a will?
may I ask why do you think you want only trust, not will?
No, I'm just asking, like, what would be a disadvantage if a person is having only a trust but not a will?
If
Because I understood based on your conversation, if a person is having a will but not a trust, they will end up going good to the courts and paying the taxes and all those things. But I didn't get the other way. Like, what if they have a trust but not a will? What
Okay,
are the disadvantage?
no, absolute good question. If may I ask, are your kids below 18 or over 18?
Below 18.
So will you declare your kids guardians? So you want to have a guardianship declared, especially if they're under 18, and that is crucial. You want to have that.
Oh, okay. So in trust, we can't declare the guardianship and all those. Okay.
No, trust is just trustees, and your trustees can be only above 18 or adults.
Got
So
it.
your kids won't be on it. You want to have your kids as beneficiaries. Again, you mentioned beneficiaries and guardianship in will.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Mhm. That's good.
So here is another thing. Is that something we have to go with the package or we can do just trust? Because I'm asking that because usually our company legal insurance, like medical insurance, they have legal insurance also, and will they cover? Most of them cover. It's
So
very common.
when you say they cover will, is that through a how do they process it for you in your company? Because each company does it different. Do they give you access to a software, or do they give you money that you can redeem after getting it done?
You
How
can you can pick a lawyer and you can go and make it done.
Mhm.
And I think they have to go with a selected lawyer. It's like the way you have a medical group,
Mhm.
selected doctors or places, same way they have a selected lawyer.
Yeah, they do have that is selected attorneys, and you can have couple
Yes.
of sittings, and you can set it up the will as well as the trust.
Okay. So
Couple of hours you have to spend on that, but you
Did it
supposed
do
to
they
have the
cover
legal service in your plan, that is in your employer plan.
right now,
this
if you want,
employer plan? I'm not sure if they cover the trust, because
I mean,
trust will be.
They, yeah,
each company is different. There could be the
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
90%. I understand companies usually don't do trust, but if they do, that is new, but that's good. But again, first on Sushmita's point, um, you can just do trust. You can have will from your company, but I would say it's better to have everything in one place, so that your family is not confused. Again, this document only plays into action when you're not there, and when you're not there, you cannot come and make changes when it is in action, because you're no longer there to make changes. So you want to make sure everything is seamless for you. It's for your family to take over from there. You can definitely have it from somewhere else different will, and but that's going to be complicated in my understanding. And another aspect is, if you move state, you have to again either way do a new will. So if you all have it in one location, it is compiled together. That's how I see it, as it's more synchronized for your family, but that's your choice.
Okay,
And
sure. Thank you.
yeah, in the aspect of Kalyan's first question, about trust, companies do have, some companies I've heard, yes, they do. But again, is it a probate avoidance trust? That is a key, because even if it is just a trust without the keywords of probate avoidance, your family still goes to probate court even if you have a trust. So, because there are different types of trust, and you want to make sure your family has a probate avoidance trust. So that is the and as far as I understand, companies really don't do probate avoidance trust, but you can check with your company. But again, I would love to sit down with you individually. Let's book a time on the calendar. Again, it's not a 1 hour relationship that we're going to have. There is a lot more information that I'm eager to share with you guys. Why I'm willing to share, again, this is very personal to me. I've been a beneficiary of understanding this concept and applying in my family's life. And it why is so close to my heart is, I have seen so many GoFundMe pages, so many, and so many uh, personally related people GoFundMe pages. And I'm sorry to use a harsh or a bold term here, but we have come for a better life from India, immigrated here, and we don't have a proper planning, because of which our family ends up begging online. That is a true aspect. That is a reality, because there's a lot of upsides and downsides to GoFundMe. Not all the funds that is collected goes to the family. There is taxations involved that gets cut from that GoFundMe, and they don't get it immediately. There's a processing time, and the family has to go through a emotional struggle and a financial struggle. Why? If there is a solution to make it simpler for our families, why not? And that is why I'm absolutely, passionate about sharing this knowledge, because this is Wall Street knowledge coming to Main Street, and I want to impact more people. So, I would love to share more knowledge with you, but in the interest of time, let's set up an individual session and then let's go over the concepts. But any closing thoughts from Prem, Arul? Thank you so much, Arul, for gathering everyone here because of you. And please, please thank the person who invited you here. They have absolutely added value, because this knowledge, you're not going to get it anywhere. MBA universities don't teach you, colleges don't teach you, schools don't teach you. Only the industrial professionals have that. And thank you so much, Arul, for creating this space so that we can share with more families, and so that lot more families in our community are protected. Absolutely. After all, you're all from Warren Buffett's place, so you have to be a little more stronger financially. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. And it's not just me, it's not just Arul, it's not just Prem. There is thousands of years worth of experience that is part of our team that we can share that because we want our communities to go to the next level. It's just the knowledge gap. Let's fill that knowledge gap, and then once you have it, you will know what to do. You won't. You will just need us to help you out again, fill in. But then, please get that. Please have these conversation dinner table, breakfast table with your kids and spouse. But anything else, Frame? I think we can say good night.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent session as usual, Sri. I think all of our friends learn more about the financial planning. Please do book an individual consultation. If you have any questions, please contact your inviter. And then we are here to help. And then we want to protect more families in Nebraska.
Right, absolutely. Any questions? I think I see some people unmuted now. Kalyan sir, Sushmita.
No, I'm
Thank you,
good.
Srimati.
Thank
That is
you.
all your valuable things. If you would have include some of that scenarios where you help the family, that will be great. Okay,
Sure.
not only taking, but I heard a couple of stories, that is, scenarios from the other places. That will be really helpful so that they can understand the importance of the will and trust. Okay, so yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Definitely, we have a lot of stories we'll plan to include. And when we meet individually, I'll share more stories with you as well. All right. Anyone else? Thank you. Yes, Mahesh.
Hey, hi. No, just wanted to say those are the good topics on will and trust. The first time I'm hearing.
Mhm.
That's a good work on the presentation as well. It's easy to understand, and I'm just curious about the next steps for to sign up for this. But I'll be anyways connecting with Arul as well.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand like what are the next steps like to have a personal connection. Yeah, but just curious to understand the process. But thanks a lot. Thanks Arul for bringing me here. Yeah. 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 Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I got cut out. My computer shut down. But
No
yes, the
problem.
next step is pretty simple. Yes, let's set up a personal 101. And we can send you a will interest package. There is a simple process, videos, support to set it up. You can do that, and then we in the personal 101 we will do a complete deep needs analysis, financial needs analysis. We will go into your numbers, your specific numbers, so it'll make more sense with the concepts.
Any other questions anyone have?
All right, then. So I believe we can say good night. Right, Prem and Arul, if that's yeah. All right. Thank you.